Yo, welcome back, and as I promised last week, we are going to do the best Maestro strategies slash spots for Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not just going to give you Maestro camp spots and random spots. I'm going to actually tell you how to play them, where to place them, how you should actually play the round, where you should sit, etc. At least in my opinion. We're going to get through a few of these and try to cover only ranked maps here. So there are going to be no casual maps or anything like that. This is all going to be for ranked maps only. So first things first, we're going to head on over to Consulate, and I like this spot. This is probably the best Maestro spot you could get, is these two as a combination. So the first thing you want to do is get up here and just try to run across. Basically, you're going to want to aim for this shorter pallet right here to try to get across. If you try to aim for the top one, you're just going to get pushed off. But if you aim for this one and then start running up once you hit it, then you should be good every time. Get up to here, and then you can't put it here anymore. Like it kicks you off if you do that. So you have to end up actually putting it up here. So this should be a really quick one, or you could put it down here if you just want the ease of use, but I like it a little bit higher. Second one is behind this black car. This one is the best one here because they can't really destroy it. In most case scenarios, you can't really destroy this one, and you actually have full realm to get all of their feet whenever they are trying to plant. The main point here with both of these spots is just try to prevent this white van plant or behind the black van plant, because this is where everyone likes to plant, and this one could basically counter everything minus whatever is right behind this wheel, because that's all it's getting blocked by. But as for where we're going to want to sit, this is something that you could determine here for yourself, but you want to survive. So I actually like trying to get my rotation hole through here. So it should end up looking nicer than this and being a little smaller, but we could just play this office, play whatever we need to do. And we could also prevent them from pushing the back way, because this is the way that your Maestro cams aren't watching. So as long as you are preventing it in some way, then this spot will probably be good. You could barricade this up, barricade up kitchen, and just kind of hang out in here, check cams, just try not to die. That's the main thing here, because we are going to be playing our cams most of the game. So another one here for Consulate is upstairs. So the first thing we're going to do, we're actually going to want to have the rotation here on this side. So try and do that first, because we are going to want to create some sort of line of sight here. So I do like to do that. Now just be wary here. If you do it on this side, people up here can just shoot right through. So if you're sitting anywhere over here, you're in a dangerous spot. But what we're doing instead is putting our Maestro cam here. So we got to find the vault command. So you got to find it just perfectly, and then you'll get the vault command here. Shoot this thing off, and then just get this thing up into the corner right here. The next spot we're going to do is right back through here, over here. And you're going to want to jump up onto this desk, this circle desk right here, run across, and just look up and place this wherever you can, because this one will cover all of this room, and we always want to put them as high as we can. Usually people aren't going to look that high up. So let's look at what our cams are looking at. So this one, the reason why we put the rotationals there is because if anyone jumps through this window, we have lines of sight, because Maestro is not only plant denial, it's also getting intel. So having this intel to be able to see through basically the whole site here is very powerful. Plus you can block anyone from planting here, anywhere in this room pretty much. And then this one's the same. You get kind of the whole vantage point here. So now into bank, we're mostly trying to defend the CCTV room, since this is the main push point all through here, and then the common plant spot is thermiting opening this and then planting right around here. So this is the plant spot that we are trying to counter here. So we're going to set up two cams to potentially counter this. First one is kind of common, but it kind of blends in really good here, especially if you shoot that TV right there and then put it right here. It kind of blends in, not the best, but it's also less likely to get shot than just putting it like in the middle of the floor. So we do it like that. And the next thing I do is actually open up a line of sight. Now this might seem counteractive to your team if they are running back and forth here, but most of the time you shouldn't be running back and forth between these anyways, and your Maestro cam can really do all the work for you just by putting it right here. This one will give you access to where you guys see right there. That is that common plant spot that we were talking about. And this one also gets access. This one's likely to get shot. However, the one in here is very unlikely to get hit, because it's just not something you're really looking for. Whenever you're looking there, you really don't even notice it for the most part. But this one, on the other hand, whenever they come in to plant right there, that's the first thing they probably are going to see. But whenever they're planting here, you have two zappers. You got one there, one there. Now moving on to Clubhouse, we're going to start upstairs. Before we get into this though, go down into the comments and tell me what operator is next, what spots are next. I know a lot of people like the mute jammers one, so I'm thinking of just doing like a massive like 100+ mute jammer spots or something, but that'll take forever to make. What about some other operators? Let me know what one you would root for, or which one you want to see next. But anyways, we're going to be covering cash room, CCTV. So first things first, of course, is the rotation holes. So we're going to have a rotation around there, Okay, and then we're also going to have one right into the garage rafters. So however you can make it, impact grenades are better, but you can use the bailiff as well. So once we have those two open, we can do two things here. So first things first, I want to knife off all this stuff so I could hop up here and place this as high as I possibly can. Doesn't really matter, it could be right, left, whatever. And this gives us great lines of sight into this area. You get to see the garage window, big door, the plant spot. You could also see into the garage door here and the garage rotation hole. And then this one, usually people like to come up here, shoot this, and just try to like kind of wiggle their way up here, right? And that's just a pain in the butt. Like, you could do it after a few tries, but better yet, I like this spot better. The only thing that you miss out on is being able to see through the rotation, which I actually like to sit down here on red, so I don't really need to do that, because if I'm dead anyways, then I'm dead. So I want to do it instead, place it right on this light right here. And this light really diffuses the Maestro cam, and you can't see much there, but you still get the same range of motion everywhere from cash room all the way here, but you just don't get that rotational as well. Another thing you could do that you already probably should have open is a few bullet holes up here, so you could see into the garage, so like there. And also you could do something like this where you just shoot it open a little bit, and that gives you a little bit more range of motion, even to be able to see into the cash room a tad bit. Not a lot, but you could still see it a little bit in case this one gets destroyed. Moving on downstairs, we got church and the arsenal area over there. So we're going to want to come up here and just find the vault key right here. This is a common Maestro cam that you might have seen. It's not super common in like normal ranked, but in more advanced play, a lot of people will know about this, but it's still very, very good. It's blocked from a lot of just lines of sight. It's very interesting. Like, you usually don't look up there. Plus it gives you all of the range that you could see pretty much everything. You could bring it down a little bit more if you want to see completely everything, but I like to bring it as high as possible to kind of block it off from this area right here. And now we head into the arsenal room. And now that this box is higher, it kind of blocks off a lot of viewpoints that we used to have, which is somewhat unfortunate. But the most common plant that I'm trying to prevent here is this one right here. So I actually like to come right here and place it here, because this blocks it from being able to really be seen from this hatch. We'll go up there in a second just so I could show you. You get to see this, as well as get to see this common corner that people like to plant in. You don't get the deep access to the corner there, but it's really the best alternative to still be able to see the dirt tunnel as well as blue and get this plant. So I like to do that. Plus you can't really see into the hatch, which is actually a good thing in this situation because it blocks off. So we're going to go head up there to show you that. So if you guys see right here, we can't really see that there's a Maestro cam there. I don't know if there's any angle that gives us a viewpoint on the, maybe a little bit right there, but you really can't tell. There's really no way to know that there's a Maestro cam there. So whenever they come in, smoke plant this or whatever, and then come to this corner, little do they know they're about to get electrocuted to death by this guy right here, which will zap them up. Okay. So those were two Clubhouse ones. I'm just trying to do memorable ones that I always will use whenever I'm playing these operators. I don't just give you junk spots that you'll never actually use in game. So keep that in mind. It's kind of quality over quantity when I'm doing these spot videos. I have one spot for you guys on Oregon, and this one requires, you basically don't have to reinforce much, because we'll just open up this kitchen area and really make sure that they can't get through here, as well as this area right here, just by placing our Maestro cam at a pretty nice spot. We could either reinforce this side right here and put it right here. That's a good option, but I actually would rather or prefer to place it on the table right here, just so I could get more around access. And this one is able to see pretty much everything that we need to see, including kitchen. It helps to put these more at like an eye level here, but either way, the next cam we could do is, usually I like to put it somewhere around this pillar right here, so we could see into this area in case they push, while still being able to see this a little bit. So I like to angle this just enough so I could see like a cross, right? So right about here would be a good spot for me. Place this Maestro cam down right here, and that way we could still see a little bit of this staircase, this, and this. And if we really want to and not reinforce this, we'll also be able to see into this site, which is good for intel in the late game round, because late game, whenever they're in here planting, you got easy pings or easy zaps. Either way, it's going to be really good. So these two are really good. The thing that we want to make sure we do though is really survive here. So I like to actually kind of just bunker myself in right here, or you could bunker yourself in the laundry room, or even chill out here in kitchen or freezer. Since you're going to be watching this anyways, they can't really cross to you, so this is a safe spot for you to chill, as well as have easy rotations to pretty much everywhere. So I'm gonna show you guys 2 setups here for border, one for the downstairs popular site to go vent and the workshop area. The first spot is actually just coming up here and placing it as high as you can and letting this one chill right here. It does have access to be shot from this, but it's pretty much the best cam that you could put in this room with still being able to see pretty much everything, especially the common plant areas. Then the next one is a unique one that I don't see really anyone doing, that I just randomly did one day, and mainly because in ranked here you're going to be reinforcing pretty much all of this. Sometimes people like to reinforce one there, the hatches, and then usually those walls upstairs as well. So these sometimes get left open, which is actually a big disadvantage to you if the other team is smart and plays into this side of the map, especially if someone comes over here and gets a line of sight from deep over there. That's a very powerful spot. So I like to actually just open this up at least a little bit just to give it a range to be able to see. And then we come over here and we could actually long arm up here and be able to get your cam. You just have to look at it the right way, and then you'll be able to get your cam here. So we could just throw this thing right up here, see into here, and as long as we shot holes in there, we will get a line of sight into this deep corner, into here, pretty much the whole entire site, with the only way for them to be able to see it is through this area here, which even if they do, they probably won't think much of it since there's so much silver objects there. It kind of just blends in with the entire environment. So we got that one just to watch into A. Additionally, we have this one in vents. Now up to the upstairs site, armory site. So the first one we're going to want to do, it's very simple. Just place it right here. This one has the fastest setup time because these spots aren't really very intricate. The second one though, you are going to need to learn how to do it, is to get up to this area. This has always been the pain in the butt for some people, but all you have to do is just run up that laptop, make sure this doesn't get destroyed, because if it does, then you're screwed, and then come up here and place this thing down as far right as you can, at least in my opinion, so we could see more of this area as well. As you guys can see, we can kind of see deep, at least deeper into the office area, but we get full sight range as long as we put it fully on this edge right here, so we could see this common plant. People like to sneak in here and plant on this floor. We could see that, zap them there. But the thing I also like to do once I'm done doing that is just shoot this so no one can really get up there anymore, and have this just be like kind of absurdly how it even got there. So we get to cover both sites pretty easily in a pretty fast amount of time, so we have a lot of time to set up elsewhere. All right, Coastline is going to be the final map that we show, because I want you guys to actually be able to refer back to this, remember these, try to make these as memorable as possible instead of just plowing a bunch of these to you. So we're just going to finish up with one on the top floor of Coastline, and just remember, watch these over whenever you're in game and refer back to these if you ever forget to them, because once you memorize something and do it once, you're going to remember it pretty much forever. So as long as you actually do it in game, you'll remember it pretty good. So the first cam spot we're going to do is just on this doorway. Seems very simple, but it never gets shot. In my experience, it never ever gets shot, and we get access. And this one's more of like a camera instead of a more useful thing, except if you're able to shoot this open here. Usually that though does get reinforced sometimes by your teammates. If it does not though, you can shoot little holes up here and get some sort of line of sight. But yeah, you can kind of see that you can get at least a little bit of a line of sight, but usually some of this is at least going to get reinforced, especially this should be reinforced here. But if this one's left unreinforced, you could at least see behind that little desk right there. But more so, this is more used for like a camera instead of like a plant denial type thing. Now we need to counter that common plant right here that everyone loves to just plant on. So the best way to do that is to come over here and apparently not shoot the glass, because that just screwed this up. I've never shot the glass before, but it definitely did not help, because now I can't place it here. So I guess you place it on top of the glass. I kind of messed that up, so I'm just going to put this on the floor here. But just to give you a good idea here, when it's up here, you're really able to see through this entire rotation hole. But if you do happen to mess up like that, which I guess will happen in game sometimes, it might get crossfired or something, you can place it on the floor here and still see that common plant area. It's better up there, but this still actually kind of does work, and you want to be able to counter this plant area right here. If you pair this with a smoke, like if a smoke's playing here, this could be very deadly, and they'll never be able to do this common plant. It's pretty much going to be impossible for them. And then this one's pretty much just a camera. So those are all of them. Remember these, Try these, let me know what you think of these, and let me know what operator you want to see next for spots. So do operators actually need spots? I'm not going to do one for like Jaeger. I've seen that one suggested, but Jaeger is pretty much common sense. Put it at areas that people like to throw stuns and nades through. Like just put them in good spots, place them on the floors, etc. I want to do more intricate ones like Maestro, Mute, Smoke, for example. So just keep that in mind. Let me know what operator you want to see next. That's going to do it for this one though. If you didn't make it this far, like squad, please like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.